What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. This is, of course, RK Music Review, and we're talking about a little bit of K-pop news, or at least, well, I mean, this is like honestly a very, very small bit of news, but it is kind of interesting, and I kind of want to talk about it just a little bit. And that is the fact that Blockberry Creative, in all of those pre-debut singles and all of the promos and activities that Loona has taken since 2016, since the very first release, and all of that stuff, Blockberry Creative has supposedly spent just about like 8.8 million US dollars to make all of those single albums, the music videos, do fan events, all that kind of stuff for all of the Loona members. And that is quite a crazy amount of money. Although seeing around a little bit on like people's comments on discussions and all that kind of stuff, I guess it ends up breaking down, or I mean, if you do the math and break that down to however much money they spend per album, it's roughly about $500,000 per album, which supposedly is about the same as what JYP spent for, I think, the debut of Twice, which was at the time considered to be pretty pricey. But you know, going beyond how much it actually cost per album and breaking all that stuff down and doing all of that math, it's not really the most relevant, although it is, you know, fun little facts that, you know, people could have on hand to share with friends or discuss. And, you know, that's kind of what I want to say. But the big thing, and probably one of the things that is, you know, concerning K-pop fans, you know, people who have been, you know, following K-pop for a little while, is the fact that this puts Loona and the members in a really, really big financial hole. And if you know, or if you know anything about kind of the way, or at least frequently the way that contracts are written and the way that idols make money throughout their career, is that the company actually takes costs of production for the albums and all this other stuff basically out of the idols' pockets before they actually make any substantial amount of money. So, you know, that means that with Loona, they're going to have to pay off their nearly 9 million US dollars in debt before they start, you know, making the big bucks off of their releases. And that's kind of something that is a little bit concerning, because there's not really any K-pop group that I know of that has been in that much debt before they actually officially debut as a group. And, you know, like I said, that's kind of crazy. That's pretty ludicrous. And if they actually have, if you know, they are actually in debt, like the members of the group are actually in debt to the company like that, then they're going to have to be massively successful before they see, you know, their big payday, or before you see, you know, one of those articles on like Soompi or whatever other news website it is that you read that kind of talks about how, you know, so-and-so idol reveals that, you know, X group got paid for the first time in, you know, since their debut 5 years ago, or whatever it is. Even groups that have modest debuts, like you don't see those articles pop up with them until they're very well established and it's multiple years since their debut. So it's definitely something that is a little bit concerning. But at the other side of things, which I think maybe a little bit makes a little bit more sense and is a little bit fairer for the idols, which I think it's fair to be pessimistic considering how, you know, shady and scummy the entertainment industry is in general. But people are like, hey, you know what, this is just someone's, you know, kind of like pet project, something that they just wanted to do for fun, and they're not necessarily super serious about, you know, making a profit with this group, or at least the money that they spent in the past, they're not necessarily super serious about, you know, making all of that, you know, recouping their costs or their losses like that. They're not really worried about making that money back. It was really just something that they threw into a fire essentially to promote this group, kind of because it's a cool idea, it's super fun, and then going forward they're gonna, you know, make their profits and do all kind of stuff like that, which, fingers crossed, that is the hope that I have got, because, you know, like I just said, being you know, $9 million in the hole, US dollars in the hole, or 10 billion won, you know, in the hole like that, it definitely puts them behind the 8 ball, like in a really big way. And it's honestly potentially is a hole that the group will not be able to dig themselves out of unless they become one of the top K-pop groups, you know, in the industry right now. And I mean, like, you know, and I mean potentially like, you know, being, you know, twice level successful Blackpink, even maybe BTS. I don't specifically know how much money BTS is making right now, but, you know, maybe even BTS would be super, super far behind if they were that much in debt when they made their debut. You know, it's really interesting. I don't know the financials behind the income of these groups. It would be very, very interesting to find out or to get some insight into that. But this is definitely, you know, a staggering number and something that I think is really, really interesting. So that's what I got. But the good news though is that, you know, I'm seeing all of this stuff all over Twitter and stuff like that, that people are, you know, hyping up Loona and the fact that their album is beating like, you know, some popular pop singers and stuff like that on iTunes or wherever they're being sold. Which is pretty, I think, significant. It kind of shows that all of the efforts that Blockberry Creative has put into creating all of this content and the pre-debut singles and the storyline and all of this stuff that they've done leading up to the official debut of Loona, that it has actually created a really, really, really big fan base for this group before they even debuted. Now, it's a lot more work to do something like this than like, you know, JYP put in with their 16 survival show to choose twice, which 16 set up twice to be really successful. And then, you know, JYP revealed in a previous, you know, in a little, you know, the JYP 2.0 video, which not really relevant to this discussion, but, you know, lots of things that JYP did as a business were also contributed to the success of Twice as well. But, you know, 16 as a variety show or as a reality show or survival show or whatever really set Twice up to succeed. And, you know, Blockberry did something similar to that with their, you know, entire, you know, 2.5 years or year and a half, 2 years of single promos or individual promotions for their groups or for the members. And, you know, even though it took a long time, probably took a lot more money than JYP spent on promoting Twice beforehand, but it seems to be paying off because their album sales are looking very, very, very strong. So that's what I've got on this topic. Hopefully you guys found that interesting. Hopefully you haven't, or maybe you hadn't heard about it before. If you had, then that's cool too. But what I would like to hear from you guys in the comments below are your thoughts on this story. You know, whatever you guys have got to say, your thoughts, your responses, your reactions, good, bad, negative, neutral, whatever, let me know in the comments below. And don't be afraid to share your opinions. Like if you think that this is a good thing for Loona, or if you think that if you are in support of them or you are against them, doesn't really matter. I want to know what you guys think. Just be respectful, of course, because this community that we're trying to build is all about having some free and open discussion about our thoughts and opinions, no matter what they are. So if you're interested in joining that community, click on the subscribe button down below. And of course, while you're down there, click the bell icon to turn on notifications to make sure that you do not miss a single video that I'm going to be uploading in the future. More stuff like this potentially is coming potentially right around the corner. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.